Hello everyone, welcome to Power Electronic lecture series. Today in this session we will discuss about the turn on methods of SCR. Okay, turn on means triggering methods of SCR. We can see there is a schematic diagram and the symbolic representation for SCR. In the schematic diagram we can see it's a total construction of SCR, that is total 4 layers PN. It is 4 layer device. The junction between top P and N layer is a J1. Also below that there is a J2 junction, and the junction between P and N is the J3. The gate terminal is connected to P type of material. Anode A is connected to upside, that is P type material, and cathode C is connected to N type of material. So we will discuss about the turn on methods of SCR. We can see in the description the turning on process of SCR is known as triggering. In other words, turning the SCR from forward blocking state to forward conduction state is known as triggering. As we all know, there is a total 3 steps of conduction of SCR, that is forward blocking state, forward conduction state, and reverse blocking state. So, to turning from forward blocking state to forward conduction state is known as triggering. When we trigger the SCR, it will the current across the current flowing through the SCR will ultimately increase, but the voltage across the SCR will almost zero. For that you have to prepare for characteristics of SCR, then and then only you will clear this thing. Okay, so let's move forward for the various triggering methods of SCR. That is, first one is the forward voltage triggering. The second one is the thermal or temperature triggering. The third one is radiation or light triggering. Fourth is the dV by dt triggering, that is change in voltage triggering. And last one is the gate triggering. Among those, the gate triggering is very popular. So let's see first. So in the forward voltage triggering, an additional forward voltage is applied between anode and cathode. When the anode terminal is positive with respect to cathode, that is voltage across anode and cathode shown by VAK, the junction J1 and J3 is forward bias and junction J2 is reverse bias. Okay, you can see from the schematic of SCR. So no current flow due to depletion region in J2 because J2 junction is already reverse bias. As VAK, that is voltage across anode and cathode, is increased further above forward breakover voltage, that is VBO, then the junction undergoes avalanche breakdown, and so current flows and the device tends to turn on. Okay, so in this process we are providing extra voltage or increased voltage across the VAK. The voltage has a value should be greater than VBO, that is forward breakover voltage. Then the junction J2, which is reverse bias, will undergo the avalanche breakdown, and it will be breakdown and will be so current flows through the device. Okay, so this is method of forward voltage triggering. We will go for next method, that is thermal or temperature triggering. We can see in the description the width of depletion layer of SCR decreases with increase in temperature. Therefore, SCR when VAR, or we can say VAK, is very near its breakdown, then the device is triggered by increasing the junction temperature. Okay, so at the point of breakdown we can provide the temperature or increased temperature at the junction. So due to this increase in temperature, the junction will be forward bias. Okay, the reverse bias junction, that is J2, will collapse and it will start to conduct. So this is one principle of triggering of SCR. The third one is the radiation triggering, or we can say light triggering. So in light triggering, a special terminal niche is made inside the inner P layer instead of gate terminal. Okay, there is a special terminal for the insertion of light. When light is allowed to strike this terminal, free charge carriers are generated. Okay, when the intensity of light becomes more than a normal value, the thyristor starts conducting. This type of SCRs are called as LASCR. LASCR stands for light activated silicon controlled rectifier. Okay, so this is very basic triggering methods of SCR. In this case, a special terminal is made inside the inner P layer and we allow the light to strike on it. So as soon as the light strike on that material, the free charge carriers are generated. So due to these charge carriers, the thyristor starts conducting, but it should have value more than the normal value. The fourth method is dV by dt triggering. It's nothing but the change of voltage across the device, okay, as a function of time. We can say, as we know, when the device is forward bias, that is voltage across anode is positive and the cathode is negative. Junction J1 and J3 are forward bias and J2 is reverse bias. So junction J2 behaves as a capacitor due to charges existing across the junction. We can say if the voltage across the device is V, denoted by capital V, the charge denoted by capital Q, and the capacitance of this junction is denoted by capital C, then small ic, okay, capacitor current is equal to derivatives of capital Q. We can put the Q is equal to CV, that is standard function, or we can say standard formula for charge. So we got ic is equal to C into dV by dt. So according to that equation, we get the rate of change of voltage across the device becomes large. The device may turn on even if the voltage across the device is small. Okay. So in this method, we can turn on the SCR by changing voltage across the device. So the last one is the most popular method to turn on the SCR is by gate triggering. We can see in the description, this is most widely used SCR triggering method. In that case, we apply positive voltage between gate and cathode to turn on the SCR, or we can say to turn it on the forward bias. When a positive voltage applied at the gate terminal, charge carriers are injected in the inner P layer, thereby reducing the depletion layer thickness. As the applied voltage increases, the carrier injection increases, therefore the voltage at which forward breakthrough occurs decreases. Okay, so after providing gate signal, or we can say gate pulses, or also we can say gate voltage to the SCR gate terminal, SCR will ultimately turn on due to insertion of charge carriers. Okay, there should be more concentration of charge carriers, therefore the voltage at the forward breakthrough occurs decreases. Okay, the breakthrough VAK or VBO, which is nothing but the forward breakthrough voltage, will decrease, and as soon as the voltage will decrease, SCR will starts on. So this is most common method of SCR gate triggering. There is one method also, that is DC gate triggering and AC gate triggering. We will shortly overlook the DC gate triggering method. DC voltage of proper polarity is applied between gate and cathode. Gate terminal is positive with respect to cathode. When applied voltage is sufficient to produce a required gate current, the device starts conducting. But there is a drawback of this triggering method. That is, one drawback of this scheme is that both power and control circuits are DC and there is no isolation between them. And the another disadvantage is that continuous DC signal has to be applied, so gate power loss is high. Okay, so next most common triggering method for SCR is by AC gate triggering. There is also two types in the AC gate triggering, that is R triggering and RC triggering. These are the most common popular methods for the turning on SCR. That is, R stands for resistance triggering and RC stands for resistor capacitor triggering. There are some advantages behind the AC gate triggering. That is, this scheme provides isolation between power and control unit. But there is some drawback of this scheme, that is use separate transformer to step down AC supply. Okay, because AC supply has very high value of voltage, so we may require step down transformer at the input side to feed the triggering or to feed the total complete circuit. So this is one, we can say there is a drawback for this method. Now we will focus on the first method of AC gate triggering, that is resistance triggering. This is a basic circuit for resistance triggering method of SCR. We can say there is a AC supply, there is a load connected, there is one diode D and variable resistor R. Okay, this is basic construction of resistance gate triggering of SCR. We can quickly review the theoretical part of it. So in this method, the variable resistor R is used to control the gate current. Okay, we can see in the circuit diagram, resistance R is connected to diode D, and diode D provides the gate supply to the gate terminal of SCR. We can see from the circuit diagram. So variable resistor R is used to control the gate current. Okay, it will control the gate current or gate supply through the diode D. Depending upon the value of R, that is variable resistor R, when the magnitude of gate current reaches a sufficient value, that is latching current, the SCR starts to conduct. Okay, the diode D is called as blocking diode. It prevents the gate cathode junction from getting damaged in negative half cycle. Okay, there is one advantage of diode behind this circuit, that is it prevents the gate cathode junction from getting damaged in the negative half cycle. So in the positive half cycle of AC supply, depending upon the value of variable resistance R, the magnitude of gate current reaches the sufficient value through this diode. Okay, as soon as we supply the gate terminal of SCR, it starts to conduct. But the magnitude of this gate current, it totally depends on the variable resistor R. We will see its some waveform. One point is remaining, that is by using this method we can achieve maximum firing angle up to 90°. Okay, so that means we can fire the SCR from 0 to 90° angles. We will clear it, we have from this diagram, or we can say waveforms. The first waveform is of no triggering of SCR, that is we can see there is in first waveform there is total 5 waveforms. The first waveform is the AC voltage, that is Vs. The second waveform is Vg, V suffix small g, that is gate voltage or gate supply. The third waveform is of Vo or V0, that is output voltage, then output current, the fourth one, and the last one is the voltage across the thyristor, denoted by Vt. So please remember, these are 5 most important waveforms for each triggering methods of SCR. So that is first one is the Vs, that is input AC signal, Vm sin omega t. The second waveform is the gate pulse waveform. Third one is the output voltage. Fourth one is the output current, and the last one is the voltage across the thyristor or SCR. We can say in the figure A or waveform A, there is a gate voltage applied, okay, that is VGP, but it has magnitude is less than VGT, that is threshold gate voltage. So the gate supply is very poor, so that there is no output voltage, also there is no turning on of SCR. Output voltage will get if and only if it turn on the SCR. The output voltage can be taken across the load. As there is no turning on due to, because of what, there is a gate pulses is less than its threshold value denoted by VGT. So as there is no gate supply, there is no turning on of SCR, there is no triggering of SCR. So ultimately there is no output voltage, also output current. The same AC waveform will appear across the thyristor, that is in waveform number 5. In the waveform number B, there is an angle of 90° is provided for the triggering of SCR. We can see in the waveform of B, the second waveform, that is Vg, it matches completely at the threshold value, and also the angle is about 90 degree. Okay, as soon as the SCR is turned on at the 90 degree, that is alpha is equal to 90 degree, we will get output voltage. We can see in the waveform VO there is output voltage, also there is output current, and the last waveform is the VT, that is voltage across the thyristor. As soon as the SCR is turned on after applying the gate supply, the voltage across the thyristor is almost zero. We can see in the last diagram, that is waveform number 5, the voltage across the thyristor is almost zero. When it happens after applying the gate supply and after triggering the SCR, we get the output voltage V0, VO, we get the output current, but the voltage across the SCR is almost zero. Similarly, the waveform is for this third one waveform, that is naming C waveform, is of angle less than 90 degree. So there is, we can say in the third waveform, the second one, that is VG, there is a very small angle, that is alpha is less than 90 degree. So as soon as we trigger the SCR, we get the output voltage. The third waveform we can see VO, there is output voltage, also there is output current, and when SCR is turns on, there is a voltage across the SCR will be almost zero. That is in last waveform, that is waveform number 5 denoted by VT. Okay, this is complete operation of R triggering method of SCR. So we will move forward for the RC triggering. So this is power circuit diagram for RC triggering. Similarly, in this case, there is a AC voltage source to feed the load and SCR. There is a variable resistor, capital R, two diodes, that is D1 and D2, and one capacitor. So we will quickly move for the description of this circuit. There is some advantage regarding the RC triggering of SCR, that is by using this method we can achieve firing angle more than 90 degree. In the positive half cycle, the capacitor is charged through the variable resistor R up to peak value of the applied voltage. The variable resistor R controls the charging time of capacitor, that is RC time constant. Depending upon the voltage across the capacitor, when sufficient amount of gate current will flow in the circuit, the SCR starts to conduct. In negative half cycle, the capacitor C is charged up to negative peak value through the diode D2. The diode D1 is used to prevent the reverse breakdown of the gate cathode junction in the negative half cycle. So ultimately the main function of this capacitor is to trigger the SCR. But the charging level of this capacitor is determined by the variable resistor R. Okay, as there is a high value of variable resistor, then it will take more time to charge the capacitor, and if the value of variable resistor is low, then it will quickly charge the capacitor. So the second line shows that the variable resistor R controls the charging time of capacitor, and depending upon the voltage across the capacitor, when the sufficient amount of gates current will flow in the circuit, the SCR starts to conduct. So these are the waveforms for the RC triggering of SCR. The first waveform, that is waveform number A, is for high value of capacitor, high value of variable capacitor capital R, and the second waveform is for low value of capital R. We can see if we provide the high value of variable resistance, then capacitor will take more time to charge, that is dotted waveform in the first waveform in the A. From the dotted line we can say capacitor taking more time to charge. Okay, so it charge after almost 90 degree. Okay, as soon as the capacitor is charged, we will trigger the SCR on. Okay, that is, it ultimately provides sufficient gate voltage to trigger on the SCR. But in this method, the triggering angle can be managed from 0 to more than 90 degree also. Okay, the alpha can be more than 90 degree. Because of what? Because of time constant, RC time constant. If the value of R is high, then it will take more time to charge the capacitor. Okay, So as the time will increase, there is angle will also increase. As soon as the capacitor will charge, it will provide gate supply to the gate terminal of SCR and it ultimately turns on. In waveform A, the third waveform is of Vt, that is voltage across the SCR or voltage across the thyristor. We can say as soon as we turns on the SCR, the voltage across the SCR become 0. We can see in the third waveform. Similarly, the waveform number B is of low value of resistor R. We can see from the dotted line in the waveform number B, capacitor will quickly charge and the charging angle and the angle triggering angle of alpha is less than 90 degree. Okay, this happens because of low value of R. Okay, if we choose low value of variable resistor R, capacitor will quickly charge, or we can say charging time required for capacitor is very low. As soon as the capacitor will fully charge, okay, of the magnitude of input voltage, then it will provide gate pulse to the SCR and SCR will turn on. We can see in the diagram number B, capacitor is quickly charged because of low value of resistance R. VO is the output voltage, the second waveform, and the VT is the voltage across the thyristor. As the thyristor is turns on, the voltage across the thyristor will become 0, and from that point we get output voltage across the load denoted by VO. So this is all regarding with triggering methods of SCR. There is one another method remaining for the triggering on of SCR, or we can say turn on methods of SCR, that is UJT triggering. UJT stands for unijunction transistor. This method is very popular to turn on the SCR. We will see in the next video. For this video, I think you everybody clear out what is the triggering methods of SCR, basic triggering methods, DC triggering method, and these two are AC triggering methods of SCR, that is R triggering method and RC triggering method. So that's all regarding with triggering methods of SCR. Thank you.